The character creation is the first thing that you will do in Starfield, and the decisions you make here can drastically change the outcome of your playthrough, so let's not get it wrong. There are two main things you will be choosing here: backgrounds, which you have to pick one of, and traits, giving you up to 3 optional enhancements for your character. In this video, I will be outlining what to go for, whether you want to be a bounty hunter, smuggler, space ninja, explorer, or even a politician, but I'll also be going over some general picks that will benefit you in most situations, and the picks that could ruin your character. So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure you like and subscribe, and tell me what backgrounds and traits you'll be going for in the comments. Kicking off with backgrounds, these will give you a short backstory about where your character came from, which can give you specific dialogue options, but this doesn't really impact the game too much. What is important about the background you pick are the 3 starting skills, which are super important to give you a head start for different playthroughs. Skills in this game cannot be respect, and to level up skills, you need to complete objectives, as well as spending hard-earned skill points, so getting a head start in certain skills will be a huge time saver for you in the early game. Taking a look at the best skills to get early on, you have weightlifting, which will allow you to carry more items, and trust me, there are a lot of items to pick up. Piloting gives you access to ship thrusters for an easier time in space battles, as well as access to higher class ships for more capacity, weapons, crew members, and more. Targeting control systems lets you target different systems of an enemy's ship to disable enemy engines or weapons, allowing you to board them and steal their ships. You also have boost pack training to help you traverse planets with your thrusters, since you have no mounts or speeders in the game. Another great skill to have is security, which allows you to unlock doors and safes for higher tier items, and if you get this with your background, you can access a chest in the opening mission that you can't get any other way, and since I didn't go for the security background, I wasn't able to unlock it and get the weapon inside. So knowing all of this, let's take a look at the best and worst backgrounds to go for in Starfield. If you're not sure what kind of run you want to do just yet, a great all-rounder is the long hauler background with weightlifting, piloting, and ballistic weapon systems for increased damage from ship weapons. Another great background for general play, while a bit basic, is file not found with wellness, ballistics, and piloting, giving you increased health and damage from ballistic weapons. If you want to go for a less conventional but really fun run, try out the cyber runner with stealth, security, and theft, allowing you to pick off enemies without alerting everyone, unlock secret chests, and pickpocket unknowing strangers, allowing you to be a true space ninja. If dialogue is more your style of play, and you want to roleplay a senator from Star Wars, then you have the diplomat background, giving you persuasion, commerce, and wellness. And speaking of Star Wars, you can be a true Han Solo with the bounty hunter background, giving you 3 great skills right off the bat, with piloting, targeting control systems, and boost pack training. Now for some backgrounds I would not recommend. While it does sound amazing to be a true space Gordon Ramsay, the chef background sucks. This gives you the gastronomy skill to let you craft different food items. However, food items are beyond pointless, restoring 2, 5, or 8 health each, which is ridiculous to have with you when you have limited carry capacity, but anyone doing a Gordon Ramsay space roleplay will have my everlasting respect. Another background that is not worth picking is the Pilgrim, giving you the scavenging skill for extra credits in containers from level 1, which really isn't going to help you in the early game. Surveying to let you scan at increased distances, which is more of an endgame thing, and gastronomy. Now that you've chosen your background, it's time to choose some traits to really spice up your run. These traits have both pros and cons, and unlike skills, most of these can be removed at some point in the game. Like backgrounds, however, some of these are very useful, some are terrible, and some are just for shits and giggles. Starting off with what I think is one of the best traits in the game, we have alien DNA for increased base health and oxygen, aka stamina, and let's be honest, who's going to say no to that? The only drawback is that health and food items are less effective, but this can be easily counteracted by upgrading the medicine skill, giving you pure benefits. A trait that isn't pure benefits, however, is hero worshipped. This gives you an adoring fan that will join your crew and give you gifts, and while that sounds great, he also showers you with long and boring dialogue, and my monkey brain hates dialogue. A trait that gives you a cool plotline in the game is kid stuff, giving you parents that love you. This does cost you 2% of your credits every in-game week, but in return, you get items and cool interactions. Something that isn't so fun is Dream Home. This grants you a home to live in at the cost of a 125,000 credit mortgage, which is half the price a house like this would go for, but I feel this defeats the purpose of the game, which is space exploration, not The Sims. And if you want to buy a house further down the line, this is pretty easy to do. In my first 6 hours of gameplay, I had already gathered over 50k credits just playing the game, and you can always create outposts for more use. Going back to some useful traits, you can have the choice between Terra Firma and Spaced for increased health and oxygen when on planets or in space. And since this game takes place almost 90% of the time on the ground, Terra Firma sounds like a great pick, unless you plan on commandeering ships like a maniac. You can also have the choice between Introvert and Extrovert for reduced oxygen use when adventuring alone or with companions. The choice between these two traits is up to personal preference, but with how useful companions are, Extrovert sounds like a great choice. I'm going to leave the faction and religion traits out of this video, as they would require their own showcase, but I wouldn't recommend these for a first run anyway. These would be better for role-playing in a second run once you understand more about each faction and you can choose one to align with. As for what I chose to go for in my first run, I went for the Bounty Hunter background with the Extrovert, Terra Firma, and Alien DNA traits, which means I'm dummy thick on planets with companions and able to pilot and take down ships in space with minimal drawbacks. However, if I was able to go for an extra trait, I would add the Wanted trait for enemies that hunt me down randomly for even more action when exploring. As for the additional skills I've been adding, I've gone for Security to unlock doors and safes, as well as weightlifting because I pick up so much stuff. And I've also been speccing into some medicine skills to counteract my alien DNA. Make sure you let me know what you're going to pick or have picked in the comments, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel for more Starfield content every week. And I'll see you in the next one.